Never run out of battery again with the INIU portable charger, the slimmest 10,000 mAh power bank that keeps your devices charged on the go. Stay powered up wherever you go. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Hey there, fam! It's time to dive into some behind-the-scenes scoop on the latest episode of HBO's The Last of Us. Composer David Fleming and Gustavo-Santaolalla opened up about scoring one of the most monumental moments in the show's history, Joel's death at the hands of Abby. We're talking about a scene that's got everyone reeling, and we need to understand how these geniuses made it happen. For Fleming, realizing he had to create music for both the bloody siege of Jackson and Joel's emotional goodbye was daunting. But with Santaolalla on board, they knew they could count on each other to guide the score through those intense moments. Craig Mazin talked about these storm clouds gathering, Fleming recalls, and obviously there's something shocking about what happens, but there's also something inevitable. This careful balance of emotional beats and action was key to creating a scene that's both impactful and true to character. One of the standout scenes from this episode has got to be the Siege of Jackson. With all the townspeople forced to defend themselves, Fleming knew he had to expand the soundstage with detuned cellos and bowed banjos instruments that were already used in previous episodes. But what's interesting is how these composers managed to keep the intensity high without overwhelming the audience. It was a lot of, how do we crank this to 11, even though we're already at 11, and still give ourselves room? Fleming says, "Now, we've all known for years that Joel's death was coming, but it was Santaolalla who knew exactly how to weave those themes into the music without breaking the emotional peak of the scene. Using instruments like the ronroco, he kept the aesthetics intact while still being raw and honest. We kept the aesthetics of the music with not only the themes, but the instrumentation and the rawness," Santaolalla explains. What's also noteworthy is how these composers approached scoring Abby's moments without making her out to be just a villain. For Fleming, capturing that force of anger and pain was crucial, especially since it will affect Ellie musically later in the show now that she's had this horrible trauma. "I love that I'm not asked to play Abby as if she's just a baddie," he says. Of course, she is the antagonist, but it's clear that these composers want to get inside her head and feel her pain. Episode 2 brings in some new elements from the game, like Abby's militaristic crew, which gives Fleming more freedom to play with themes. But at the same time, he recognizes the importance of diverting from source material when necessary, especially to maintain that feeling of immediacy you're getting inside a character. When you play the game, you're a very active participant who's inside that character, Fleming says. And in the process of watching a television show, we didn't want to lose that feeling that you're in the character. So there you have it, fam, a behind-the-scenes look at how these incredible composers brought one of the most pivotal moments in The Last of Us to life. The result? A scene that's both heart-wrenching and intense, with music that complements and elevates the drama.